Plaintiff Brandon Hentz says he was immature when he started dating the defendant. But after the defendant had a son, he took responsibility for the child, even though he knew the baby may not be his. Brandon claims the defendant then had a second child, so he petitioned the court for 2 DNA tests. Defendant Leslie Smith admits that at one time she told Brandon that he was not the father of her child, but says she only did it because he was unfaithful. Leslie says Brandon may be the father of both of her children, and she looks forward to getting closure today.
Let me hear from you first.
Well, me and Leslie met it. I'm sorry, I'm very nervous.
Take your time. Well, let me go to her. She's smiling and grinning. Yeah. Over this issue of whether you're the father of her child. I guess it's funny. Go ahead.
Well, I met Brandon in 2006. When I first met him, he pretty much lied to me about a couple of things, like his name, what school he went to.
How'd you find out his real name?
His family pretty much told me.
How long after meeting him did you find out his real name?
Maybe 2 months.
Okay. And how long did you all stay together?
We've been off and on at that time for maybe the past 4 years.
All right. What'd you call him? The name he told you or the name his family told you to call him?
I called him the name that his family told me to call him.
Why you didn't call the man what he wanted to be called? That's disrespectful.
Because that's not his name. That wasn't his name. I don't know why he lied about that.
He probably rejected his family. His family might not treat him right. So he changed his name. Go ahead.
I end up getting pregnant, and I lied to Brandon and told him that he wasn't the father.
You told him he wasn't the father?
Yes.
How long after delivery?
Once I got pregnant, I told him that I was pregnant right away. But
when did you say he's not the father?
Yes, I told him that he wasn't. He asked me about it.
Why'd you do that? It was true?
No, it wasn't true. I did that because Brandon has hurted me. He has cheated on me, and he has cheated on me numerous of times. It was plenty of girls in the picture. And so I did branch off and start seeing someone else. So in the midst of that, that's when I ended up finding that I was pregnant. So I end up telling him, and he has been there regardless of our differences. He has been a great person in my life,
Good.
Him and his family.
He's been a father to the child or not?
Yeah, he...
Okay. Go ahead, sir. Let me hear from you.
Well, like she was saying, yeah, I was immature at that time. I did get her the wrong name. Like, I was honestly didn't know what I was.
Move on. You had a warrant on you. Go ahead. What else?
Okay, so
that's why you gave her the wrong name. You had a warrant for your arrest. Go ahead.
No, I ain't had no warrant at the time.
Did. Go ahead. People give you the wrong names because they got a warrant.
Actually, that was when it was me and my brother trying to do something else, but it didn't happen.
I know it had to do with crime. Go ahead. When you and your brother was trying to do something else. Go ahead, sir. So you told her that.
Yeah.
All right, and then how did the relationship
So after
progress?
that, we got back together and she had a son. So I'm like, okay. She moved in. We moved in with my aunt.
And at the time of her pregnancy, she says she told you you weren't the father.
Yeah.
And then what did you believe afterwards?
I was still there. I believe it probably was mine, but I didn't really say nothing, but I still was there anyway.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless of anything, you know, because like I knew this day was probably gonna come where she probably do tell me it was mine, or, you know, the other guy.
So when did she tell you the child was yours, or did she ever state?
She actually never told me.
She never went back and said, I was just talking, I was just upset.
She never
the child is yours.
She never told me the child was mine. She never told me the son was mine. The son was mine. I was talking to my cousin one day on the phone, and he was like, well, Demarion actually resembles you when you was a child.
Does?
Yeah, he does resemble you as a child. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, so I talked to her and I was like, well, since we're doing Demarion, we might as well do Demarion just to make sure, you know, because I wouldn't want, him not to have me in his life.
If you're his father.
Yes.
Good. All right. And when did it last come up?
Well, we was living together at my aunt's again. I ended up getting locked up for residential burglary, and she ended up getting pregnant. And I got out on probation, you know what I'm saying? And when I first seen her, she was telling me she was messing with another dude. She was messing with another dude while I was locked up. So I had just got out of the work release center, and I had called her and I was like, is there any possibility I could be the father? She told me no. So I started a relationship with another girl, and 4 months after that, she called me and say, well, it's a possibility you could be her father. So now I say, well, I need a DNA test now.
All right. Ma'am?
Okay, so when Brandon got locked up, true enough, I did start seeing someone else. I ended up running back into him. I told him I was pregnant. I also told him that the second child was not his. But once I conceived my child and had her, I did have a conversation with his mom, and I did tell her that it could have been a possibility. But the other people that's involved in my kid's life, they didn't. When I had brought it up to the other possible father about it, he told me, like, no, pretty much like, leave it alone. I'm the dad. There's no reason for you to go and tell him.
When did he tell you that?
When I had my baby.
Okay.
When I had her, and at the time.
But did he write his name on the birth certificate?
Yes, he did. He wrote his name on birth.
So he is presumed the father. Go ahead.
So when I finally got the courage and became the woman that I am, I finally told him, like, you know, I'm sorry, you know, that I put you through this. And he asked me for a return test, and I told him I didn't want to do it.
Why?
Nervous? I don't know.
Nervous? Nervous about what? Nervous about knowing the true father of your child? How is this man supposed to know? I'm glad you requested. It's you that has been requesting this. Even though another man's name is on the birth certificate, you wanted to know.
Because my father was never in my life. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't want my daughter or my son to be without their father. You know?
He's been committed to wanting to know. And as you've heard, he's had a record. And you ain't getting out no more, are you?
I work all week, every week. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't ask you that.
No, I ain't going to jail no more. I ain't going to jail no more.
But you might pick up that thing every now and then.
No.
That shirt is a little large on you.
That's because, you know what I'm saying, I've been working a lot. I'm losing a little weight, you know. It's kind of hot where I work, you know.
No, man, I'm gonna leave you alone because whatever you're doing, at least you want to take your responsibility of fatherhood. But whatever you're doing, if we are able to confirm you're the father, please don't do anything personally that will affect the life of your child. All right? Can I get your word on that?
Yes, sir.
All right, whatever it is. All right. You didn't work the weight off, right? All right, sir. Let me get the results. I thank you for showing that concern and commitment. You presume that both of them are yours, though?
I believe 100%.
Even though okay, good.
She actually looked like my sister's. My sister actually passed 2 years ago. You know, saying she killed herself, and tomorrow will be her 2-year anniversary of when she killed herself. And I just want to know because my sister was arguing with the other guy that posted been a baby daddy on Facebook before she died, saying that my daughter looked like me, like her.
You playing games. I mean, This is nothing to play with. Folks destroy lives. Sorry about that, sir. Zero chance you're the father. Case adjourned.
Only thing I keep telling him, like, I'm sorry. I didn't want him or myself to be going through this, but this is what he been asking me for, and I didn't want this to happen.
The young man who came to find out paternity, he was so devastated and traumatized. Took him back to my dressing room to talk to him. First time in 20 years I've ever done that with any litigant. One of the things I tried to inspire him as he was crying profusely and caused me to tear up a little, talking about his commitment and his love and for the child, he wants to stay in the child's life. So I gave him the advice to use it as an inspiration to do other things with your life. And one of the first things I pointed out is that there's a stereotype that black men in particular abandon and don't want to take care of their kids. However, most of them love their children and want to be in their children's lives. And he was an example. And so I told him what he did was help change the minds, no doubt, of at least hundreds of thousands of people who have a stereotype about men in his situation. Then I also advised him to find a way, once again, to what I refer to as turn your pain into power. And oddly enough, he said he wanted to start a nonprofit to help other people, and youth in particular.
That's great.
So,
Wow.
just wanted you to know he had some good news.
Yeah.
And he really appreciated you all. He could feel you all's support. And so he appreciated the audience support. And because most people have nothing positive to say about a guy who's been in and out of jail, so it did a lot for him to,
That's great.
for you all to accept.